don't have a man in your life?
Because if we're going to go for old school, look after your man, and he does the manly roles, and he does the car, and he takes out the bins, and he does all the masculine things that the old school feminists might say. If that person is, because old school, there was, husband and wife. There was not so many single women like myself running households, running businesses, paying for cars, getting under the bonnet, all of those things. All I'm saying is sometimes if I were to stick to old school feminine ways, I wouldn't get by.
Okay, I understand.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Auntie, did you have something to say?
I don't understand where she's coming from.
So, so you were saying that, old school, you look after your man, and you know your place.
Yeah.
But in your place, what's the limits of that place?
There's no limits. It's just
but
that
it's a position. A place is a position that you're holding.
Yeah.
You're holding that stance.
I'm a woman. That's my place.
Right.
Thank you.
So what do you, maybe I need to understand then. Yeah. What's a man's place?
Do you guys understand what's happening here? Do you guys understand what's happening here? She is asking these questions to Auntie Jenny because she does not know. She honestly does not know. That question, well, what's the limit? Translation. What's the limit you will do for your man? Right? What's the limit you'll do? That's what she's asking Auntie Jenny. Okay, I understand looking after your man and making sure he's sorted, et cetera, but where's the line? Where's the line? How far would you go? In other words, what are the limitations on your femininity and taking care of your man? Typical black woman mentality.
A man's place is to look after me, make sure he's got my best interests at heart, and he has to make the final decision, which improves both of us. His final decision will always be in my benefit.
So when he's not there to look after you, who's looking after you?
I make sure that I've got a man. So any decision I make, even for me being on the podcast, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Because before I decided to come on the podcast, I asked his permission. People might think that's really strange. I said, what is your permission? What do you think about it? This is what I'm going to do. And there's certain things he didn't like. So I told Pearl, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do whatever. And then we came to a conclusion. But the final decision is always his. And I trust him with it because he'll always have my best interests at heart. And I'm a trained mechanic.
And maybe that's because you've got a good man.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Even if you have a good man, that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe because I can't do what you just said. I can't.
There we are. See? There it is, guys. There it is. The Lizzo-sized black woman says, I can't do what you did. And, of course, Destiny thinks that that's ridiculous. Right? Destiny said that's ridiculous. What's so ridiculous about allowing a man to have the final decision? What's so bad about trusting a man implicitly to have your best interests at heart? What's wrong with that? When we say submissive, when we want women to submit, all submission is willingly relinquishing control. You cannot force a woman to be submissive. She has to be submissive of her own free will. But let me rewind a little bit here. When she asks him, okay, when he's not there, who's looking after you? Is that a serious question? What, there's no such thing as a cell phone? Right? When he's not there, who's looking after you? That question was meant to say, when do you win back your autonomy? When can you start making decisions free and independent of your man? See, because in her mind, in Lizzo's mind, if he's not there, if he's not physically present, then the decision-making falls to you. All of a sudden, you go from giving up your autonomy to getting your autonomy back. This is not the way relationships run. When I'm in Miami or when I'm traveling, Devin always makes sure she runs things by me first. Hey, I'm going to buy this. Do I have your permission? I need money for that, etc., etc. Devin doesn't say, well, Donovan's in Miami doing fresh and fit, so I guess I'm in charge. No. She always runs things by me. I always get the final decision. So when this woman says, well, when he's not there, who's looking after you? That to me is a woman who is looking for a reason to usurp her man's leadership. which is why this woman is single. And she just told us, see what you just described there, Auntie Jenny? I can't do that. Well, guess what? That's a you problem, and that's why you're single. Again, black women, ladies, sisters, take notes. Not that you will, but this is why black women, Western black women, are the least preferred. It's right here on your screen. Right here on your screen. They're masculine. They don't believe in submission, and they're always looking for a reason to usurp a man's authority. Not only that, they're grossly overweight, as are 80% of black women in this country.
Because that's you
Why
putting
is that
all the
ridiculous?
trust.
Why is that
I want to
ridiculous?
hear why.
Why? Because why would you need permit? Like, there might be boundaries within the relationship. So, for instance, like, I don't want you to do like a pearl like strip show dance thing with like male strippers. Like, I can understand that because that's like boundaries of the relationship. But in terms of like, I need your permission to do a show because I like if your boyfriend or husband or whatever, if he's not like in this world, you probably know better than he does. Like, what's better for you? I'd imagine.
But
right?
the thing is, we're both not in this world. We both don't know about social media. He didn't, and it's blown up.
Well, but you're in
blown
this world
up.
now, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I still had his permission, so there might be certain things that have developed since me being on the podcast that he doesn't agree with.
But how
so
do you know
I will
he's
cut
got your
them
best
back.
interest at heart?
I mean, if you pick a good guy, I mean,
He's a good guy.
yeah.
But imagine if you didn't have a good guy. So
yeah,
all
this
the
is what
women
I'm
that are
trying to
trapped
say.
in abusive
Well, and also you never
relationships,
know if you have a good guy
actually
until
they
you don't.
have
And can
the
I just
agency to
say,
leave that.
don't you know yourself better than anyone?
No, not necessarily, because I'm human. I got bad things and I got good things. I'm just as bad as anybody else. And I will always take other people's opinions. And then when he says stuff, I don't always take it as hard as Pearl knows, because thanks to Pearl, I sorted out a few problems where I've had to stop being stubborn.
But you've
Bitch.
given
But
another
before-
human
sorry, can I
authority
say
over your
before-
decision making in life.
Sorry, can
You've
I
given
just
someone else
add
that
something
power.
onto that? Auntie, what you said is the exact same situation with me. I have a fiance, and I would not come up here unless I've spoken to him about it, and he's actually agreed with it. So the only reason why I'm sitting here is because my fiance doesn't have a problem with me sitting here.
But can I ask you something, right?
Who knew?
When you go out on the street, which a lot of people don't recognize, when you go out and you dress and you speak, who do you represent when you go out? As
Your
a woman
man.
in a relationship.
Your man, your husband.
Right. So when you're at school and you're in your uniform, you represent the school.
Yep.
When you go out as a child, you represent your parents.
Yep.
If you have a man, you represent your man.
God.
You're a couple. So people are gonna know that if he sees you on a podcast and you're doing God knows what, you're going to represent him. People are going to know that's so-and-so's woman.
Yeah.
So you have to listen to him. You don't tell, he doesn't tell me what to do, but I have to take his feelings into account.
Wait.
And then I make the right.
Do you flip
That's
that? Do you flip
fine.
that?
All right. So before Destiny jumps in, always the extremes with Destiny, right? So Auntie Jenny says, hey, look, man, if my husband says that this is not good, then I'm not going to do it. Right? So now Destiny jumps in. Well, obviously he doesn't want you to do a striptease, blah, 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 blah. This is Destiny's movie. Always goes to the extreme, right? Then, of course, Lizzo says, well, if you're both not in this world, then you would know what's best. No, they're both in the world. You can't use hypotheticals as a rebuttal to what somebody said. You just can't do that. Well, I mean, let's just say if he's not in this world. No, he is in this world. We can talk about, there's no need to talk about hypothetical situations unless they come to pass, right? Then we come to the autonomy thing. And I forgot who asked that. I think it was Esther. She says, well, don't you know yourself better than anybody? The answer to that is yes. But here's what most modern women don't know, or at least they won't admit that they know. Women are self-destructive by nature, gentlemen. They are self-destructive by nature. Their default setting is self-destruct. Why else do you think they got married so young back in the day? Why do you honestly, if there is a young attractive woman in the West, who is not under the tutelage or guidance of a man, boyfriend, fiance, or husband, they go feral. Dude, take a look at any Instagram. How many 18-year-olds, 18, 19, 20-year-olds on Fresh and Fit have OnlyFans? These are women without strong male leadership. Yeah, she knows herself better than anybody. But that's exactly why she puts her trust in a man. Same with Devin. When I met Devin, she was self-destructing. She was destroying herself with cock and alcohol. I got a hold of her, got her on the right path, and now she's good to go. And I say this all the time. Every aspect of Devin's life has gotten better. That's another reason why she trusts me. And then, of course, Lizzo says, well, that's if you know you have. Well, what if you have a good, well, what if you don't have a good man? What if you don't have a good man? Well, clearly, Auntie Jenny does have a good man because they've been married for 30 some odd years. Again, these whole what if hypothetical scenarios, that is not a rebuttal to someone's situation. What if this? What if that? What if he's not a good man? Been married 32 years. Well, what if you're both not on this earth? We are both still alive. So already the two black women on the panel are using hypothetical situations as a justification to take back the autonomy that they have given to their men that they clearly love and trust. This, again, is why black women are single. They are looking for any reason at all to not submit, to not obey, to not stay in pocket. And Auntie Jenny's 100% right. If you are a woman and you're on a podcast or you're out, you are representing your man. And I have never thought of that analogy with the school. Like when you've got the school uniform on, you're representing the school. Very good analogy by Auntie Jenny. Let's continue.
That and to say, does he represent you as well when he's doing stuff?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Well, then do you have authority over him to give him permission to do stuff or not?
Yeah, certain
Yeah,
things.
he won't do anything.
No, but
we discuss
feminists wouldn't do that.
everything.
A feminist
It works
wouldn't.
both ways.
But you said you have your
But he has the
place.
You have your place.
final
It's
not equal.
decision.
It's not equal. You said
He
you have
has
your
the
place.
final decision.
Guys, we need
Okay,
one at a
okay,
time.
you-
Auntie, finish your point.
Yeah, he has the final decision. If he
Guys like Destiny are dangerous for women, man. So once again, well, wait a minute. Okay, you represent him well. Does he represent you well? She's like, well, of course he does. Because if he did not represent me well, then he would not be my man. Devin represents me well. I represent her well. We owe that to each other because of who we are together. She is my fiance. When she is out and about, she's representing me. When she's on podcast, she's representing me. When I'm on podcast, I'm representing her. But here is the key question. This is why Destiny is dangerous for women who are feminists. Well, do you have authority over him? Destiny, buddy, I got news for you. If I'm going to take care of a woman, if I'm going to be responsible for her safety, her well-being, her financial well-being, if something goes bump in the middle of the night, if I'm gonna grab my bat or whatever I have and go down and extinguish the threat, if I'm going to pay the bills on time every month, if I'm going to make sure there is food in our refrigerator, if I'm going to make sure that she stays healthy, if I'm going to make sure that she lives a good life, then I need authority. I need a measure of authority over her to some degree. Devin doesn't ask me, Donovan, can I take a step? No. Donovan, no. Devin doesn't ask me to go to the bathroom. If Devin wants to go to the bathroom, she does not have to get my permission for that, obviously. But just like Auntie Jenny said, he has the final say. There cannot be two captains on a boat. There is a pilot there's a pilot and a stewardess. And once again, what Destiny is trying to do is he's trying to pitch this equal. If you do this for him, then he's got to do this for you. No, it doesn't work that way. Because the things I do for Devin benefit her. The things she does for me benefits me, but they're very different things. A man's role and a woman's role, there are some things that are interchangeable to some degree, but as far as the masculine and feminine, there are some things that are just not interchangeable. Authority is one of them.
he's going to do something and he says, oh, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't agree with that. Because it's been so long, 32 years and counting, because it's been so long, he will know that there must be a reason behind it that I don't agree with him. Now, he will either listen to me as I would do him, because I don't have to take everything he says as gospel. It's up to me whether to take it or not.
But you're
And
basing it
9
on
times out of
32
10,
years.
I will listen to him rather than listen to my
All right.
friends.
But look, what
Because
about us?
women
What
will
about
finally
most of
listen
us?
to their friends.
What about most of us that haven't had 32 years? And so are you saying that I've been with my man 2 years and I must, what he says goes? This is what my struggle is.
What I'm trying to say is
you've
that
been able to build that trust. You've been able to know that he's got your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
You've been able to know that he has your right intentions. But most of us haven't had 32 years to practice all that.
Do you know
so
something?
I can't adopt your position.
Can I say something? Do you know something, right?
Yeah.
You as a woman would know within the first 6 months whether that man is for you.
I can't say that.
Bingo. Wait, what?
Married a man.
I would.
See, there we go. See, there we go. There we are. There we are. This woman, this woman is making excuses. She's making excuses not to submit. She's making excuses not to trust. She's making excuses not to give up autonomy. This is why this woman is single. Yes, Auntie Jenny's been married for 32 years, but she took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't take 32 years to build trust in your man. Just like Jenny said, it takes maybe 6 months for a woman to figure out, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got his stuff together. He's a man about his shit. He's going to point me in the right direction. I better hitch my wagon to him. She said 2 years. 2 years. This is why she's single, because she's like, well, if I'm with a man for 2 years, that's just not long enough. Dude, I'm telling you, nothing is ever going to be long enough for black women. Black women will look for any reason they can not to obey and submit to a man. 2 years was her example. Well, what if I'm with him for 2 years? Sweetheart, if you've been with a man for 2 years and you don't find him worthy of submission, one of two things is at play, probably both. Number one, he's not worthy of submission. Number two, you are simply incapable or unwilling to submit. 2 years is a long time. And if you're going to assert that it's going to take you 2 years, more than 2 years, for a man to build trust with you, for you to understand that he has your best interest at heart, I can't help you. That's a you problem. Going back to what Auntie Jenny was talking about, if there's something I want to do, or a project any decision I make, if Devin has concerns, she will let me know. She will let me know. I'll be like, Devin, we're going to do X, Y, Z. She'll be like, okay, Donovan, I get it, but here are my concerns. I will seek her counsel. I will take what she, and I trust Devin. I trust her. She has my best interest at heart. She's not trying to play me. She wants what's best for the both of us. And based on her input, her concerns, I will take that into consideration, but I make the final decision. Whether I decide to maybe alter my decision based on that new information, continue with the decision that I was going to, or decide not to do it. Either way, I'm the person who makes the final choice. If Devin is concerned, I want to know why. I want to know why she's concerned. She's a woman. She sees and understands things that I don't, and vice versa. Dude, there are many, many situations where, Devin and I, we work together. We have a business together. We do all kinds of stuff together. If I say we're going to do X, Y, Z, if Devin doesn't have a concern about it, she'll say, yes, sir. Literally, yes, sir. But if there are potential challenges or things that we need to discuss or concerns, I'm all ears. Why? Because I trust her. I trust her implicitly. By the same token, she trusts me. At the end of the day, the man has the final say. And you can just tell by this woman's body language, just the idea of giving a man authority over her person looks like it repulses her.